In this video, I'm going to be showing you what's happening behind the scenes. If you are an audio guy, for example, then you might find this quite interesting because we're going to be upgrading a little bit of the audio today and what happens on this channel. Number 4 of the MacBook Airs just arrived. As you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3 in there, and this is the 4th one here. So I gotta shoot some B-roll of this, and then you can also see a microphone that we have to film some B-roll of because we're gonna be using that. Oh, hey, what? Wait. Scary news, big news, and you need to act now. Okay. Take a breath, breathe. It's Windows 10. What about it? Well, it's ending, and your device might be at risk, and you could act now. Well, good job. I am running Windows 11 then, eh? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's good. Ryzen Pro, I can see. Yeah, that's very good. Good choice. Mm-hmm. Oh, 1 sec. AMD sent me to tell them about the Ryzen Pro Loaner program that they're running, and they can go check out any of the Ryzen Pro laptops for free. Check them out if you want to, for free. I've already made a video about the Windows 10 and Ryzen Pro that they can check out in the video description already. Okay. Well, carry on then. Links below. Now it's the MacBook time. Let's go. So we're going to be installing this microphone now in a minute, and I'll show you why this is so special. By the way, this was like one of the parcels that came, but there was actually something missing in the parcel that was supposed to be there as well to replace kind of the wireless audio type of thing here. Here I'm always having to find like ways how to be efficient with my time. So while something is doing, we're going to be installing something else. But I have to set up this MacBook Air in here. So that's what we're going to be doing next. But the cool thing is with Macs, I figured out, which is an amazing thing, that you can just literally have a copy of one of your Macs in here. And then as I'm setting up this Mac, I'm literally just going to be time machining the backup of the other Mac. And then everything on my Mac literally gets there. I don't need to install any of the programs whatsoever. Boom, it's all installed. Imagine going through all these 4 different MacBooks and then trying to install everything over and over and over and over again, all the different programs, benchmarks, settings, everything. Now with this, boom, within half an hour, everything's done and it does it itself. So let's do that now. So this is the bit now, migration assist, continue. We're gonna go there, continue, wants a password, using that MacBook Air, continue. And it's literally going to do all of it itself. I'm going to leave the monitor into there, but now the microphone positioning. So let's figure that out on this side. Okay, as you can see from the top camera angle, this right now is in the way, but just about. So I want to move it slightly on the side, something like that, and then have the microphone just on it like that. So the mount that came with the microphone. Oh, we need another converter. You know, because on the bottom of this is, what is it? 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch? But I need it to go even smaller than that. That little thing is the one I'm looking for. And yes, perfect. That goes into there. So we've got kind of 3 washers inside there. And then now that we can tighten up over here. Now this can go onto there just like that. Okay, as you can see, this is still massively in the way. So this is the widest angle on the top camera there. So if I zoom further in, that's all right. But now I have to check the front angle as well. Okay, as you can see, the top angle is completely out of the way when it's just over here, but I wanna move it even further down. So this is pointing kind of somewhere just directly over here. So if I'm talking like this, if I'm talking like that, that should just pick it up directly from here. Because the lights are coming all the way around, that shouldn't be an issue. This light has fallen down a bit. There we go. But now the main thing is when I'm talking over here, we need this to be plugged into that camera over there. But the good thing is that camera accepts XLR and phantom power, which actually fires this. And I have pre-installed already this wire in here. Okay, so now that should be out of the way. Let's see if we can actually plug this wire into that microphone. I'm going to adjust some settings in there. Okay, right now it's camera left and camera right. So I'm going to turn it to XLR and I'm just going to see XLR phantom power. Oh, hey. XLR line, no, XLR microphone, there we go. And then phantom power on. So now, as you can see from here, it's the XLR coming in. And I've got this as full volume there. So I'm just going to press play. By pressing play, I meant record. Hey. Okay. Hey. So check. These levels seem extremely low to me. I mean, this is just like maybe 1.5 feet away from me, but the levels seem incredibly low. Let me see if I've listened to it back and it doesn't sound very good. Okay, I've got it plugged into my Zoom H5 here and I'm recording the XLR out. I've got this connected to our microphone in there. And what I'm hearing sounds really, really nice. It's very deep. It sounds beautiful. As you can see, it picks up quite a lot of sound from the front here, but not as much on the side. But what boggles my mind is, why is this microphone not being picked up by the camera? Are the camera preamps bad? Maybe I'll have to update the settings in terms of the camera software. Is that the issue? I'm gonna have to do some research because this just works right now. It sounds really, really good. I'm liking this. So why don't you let me know how does this sound? I'm checking this out right now. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Is it all right? How does it sound like? Does that look good? From this angle, I just have to double check that this is not going to be in the shot. But right now it feels not bad, not bad. Check 1 2. Is this all right? Okay, this is how this microphone sounds like. So here's the actual audio setup that I ended up with. So the microphone is coming onto my Zoom H5 and I've got the one audio channel set there, and then one of the channels is selected there. So XLR comes in, gets the phantom power there, fires the microphone. There is a 5-volt USB, mini USB, that's an awkward cable, mini USB cable that gets full power from the floor. And then there is a line out on the top there, as you can see, and that goes directly onto the camera. I've got the gain set to 5, so that's directly kind of in the middle there, and that's not going to be peaking the audio. And then it gets picked up on the camera and I can see the levels on there, which are quite low and quite good. Unfortunately, the camera with the mini XLR didn't quite pick it up. I don't know if it's the cable or it's the camera, like preamps. Camera can't like exactly send that much power or something. Who knows, but now it works and I'm super happy. So that H5 stays always on. I'm never gonna turn this off. I know it's maybe not so good electricity wise, but I can always see it on and check it in there. That's nice. So I just finished recording with the new microphone setup and I'll show you in a minute how I've set it up, but it looks a little bit interesting. I'll show you what I mean first. So what you can see now is our clip of the audio. This is like the video I just recorded. And what I've done here is, because it records on the camera different audio tracks differently. One of them is built-in camera microphone. So just in case I have just like reference audio and I can easily synchronize all the clips. And the other channel, or the left to right channel, One of them is then now all of the audio that goes in from this microphone just above here. What I've done is I've filled both of the channels now with the microphone that comes directly from here. There is a little bit of a weird thing going on here. Now listen to this. 117 for the single core scores. And when I compare it to the 8945HS, then there is, so single core, we're gaining. It actually sounds really nice in terms of depth. It's really nice, but gaining 11.4%, and it does pick a little bit of the audio up from there. So let me see if I can reverb it down and multi-core 13.3%. So about 10 to 15% kind of performance uplift on the AI model. So there's a very high pitch frequency that I'm trying to figure out how can we get rid of that. Does it come from just me boosting the levels? Is there something wrong with like the cables? Does the camera pick it up, or is there some effect? So let's have a look at it to denoise. But there's one last thing to do as well. But still, I'm thinking it's not particularly impressive and feels expensive to me. I want to open this up and actually see what's happening here. So this is interesting. So I have to denoise it a little bit more. But what I want to do is I want to see if we can get rid of this with EQ, parametric equalizer. Okay. I think these screw off. The legs are just the. So if I go to a quiet part here, can you see how there's a frequency in there? Okay, this is the fan going around 800 hertz there. Good thing is these screws don't come off, so they're captive screws, which is nice. So obviously our fan that just blows air on top of this device, and you can see here we've got a Crucial P3 Plus installed. So that's a really good NVMe storage. Gen 4 is very fast. It's a good drive. You've got a secondary slot free, which means you can upgrade the storage. Let's find the frequency. Your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth card is just over there. You can upgrade that, and there's no RAM upgrade. I lied. They're not captive screws. They do come off. They just fell off. Look at that. So the RAM is actually on the other side, cooled by this heatsink as well. So that's kind of like a blower style heatsink. It kind of feels odd to me because I'm not sure if that is coming from mic that we actually recorded in. So let me try a little bit of a different setting on the microphone. Maybe change it from headphone, like line out. Maybe the level's a little bit too low. We're going to check that out. So I'll test that now. Something like the DJI MIc, if you want to compare it to this one, it's completely fine here as well. But, let's test this now. Was this any different? I'm going to go check that. You can compare the actual internal, recorder format on the actual recorder. Is it clean in there? Or is it two? I'm trying to figure out how does this audio sound now. So what we're doing right now is I'm recording actually on the recorder and I'm recording on the camera. Okay. So now it gets interesting. So basically, the signal that I was sending from the recorder to the camera was minus 10 dB. And I put it to 0. So we lifted the warmness of the signal that gets sent to the camera. And now listen to this one here. Bear in mind, I have got extra 15 dB added to this. Okay, this is another test, check 1, 2. I'm trying to figure out how does this audio sound now. So what we're doing right now is I'm recording actually on the recorder and I'm recording on the camera. The camera output now, line output, we're sending a little bit more warmer signal out so we don't have to push the signal that much. But where is the little buzz getting picked up so we can compare the actual internal recorder format on the actual recorder? Is it clean in there, or is it somewhere else? So what we can see and hear right now, this sounds really, really nice, and we can actually compare it to even something like the DJI MIc, if you want to compare it to this one. This, I'm quite happy with the way this sounds right now, but the thing is, I'm still boosting the levels here around 15 dB, right? That means that I want to get 10 dB higher. I'm gonna send the audio out because on the camera I'm receiving it like as warm as I can align. But now I'm gonna send it even warmer, and then let's do one more test. All right, check. What I'm doing right now is I'm recording the, I'm hitting the limiter. That's not good. So I have to turn the gain down a little bit. Check. Okay, hey. Okay, that's still a little bit warm. I feel like this is the kind of warmest of the actual audio that I can record. Unfortunately, the camera can't record it as like, I can't get a warmer audio in. So there's no, well, at least I know it's safe and I don't have to boost it that much, but this is as good as it's gonna get. The gain is slightly higher, but this is picking up really nice audio from here. Okay, I've got everything lined up now here. Let's see what it sounds like. So I'm testing the main camera audio right now. Ooh, I'm hitting the limiter. Okay. That's not good. So I was limiting there. The gain down a little bit. Check. Okay, hey. Okay, that's still a little bit warm. I feel like this is the kind of warmest of the actual audio that I can record. Unfortunately, the camera can't record it as like, I can't get a warmer so nice and deep sound for this. There's no like this chesty sound. I know it's safe. This NTG3 from Rode is really nice. But this is there is like a perfect pickup area where this is. Higher. I would probably gain it up a little bit. Here we'll gain up 10 dB and listen to it now. This is the DJI mic. How good is this? 1 2 check 1 2 check 1 2. This. Okay, and then now let's listen to a DJI microphone. So that little microphone in here, well, you'll see from there. This is the DJI mic. How good is this? Does it sound? Can you hear it? How tinny this is? Any good? Check 1 2 check 1 2. This is the DJI mic. Okay, let's see if we can do anything with like an EQ for this. So we'll go a little bit back. Okay, so looking at the DJI right now, the DJI the EQ makes a massive difference. Check 1 2 check 1 2. This is the DJI mic. How good is this? Does it sound any good? And check 1 2. What you're hearing right now. The DJI microphone basically needs the lows boosting a little bit and the highs boosting, and pull the mids down because it sounds very tinny. With similar settings, how I usually process the audio, which one? Oh yeah, so that's a lot better now, having this EQ on in there. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to save this because that is really nice preset. But then now let's listen to the actual lavalier of the Tascam here as well. And check 1 2. What you're hearing right now is the Tascam lavalier on here. It's quite nice. With similar settings, how I usually process the audio, which one sounds better. Is the backup audio really good in here? Okay, the Tascam has a little bit more clarity. It's less like echo. This seems to be picking up a little bit more echo because it's so much further away from my mouth. Look how close Tascam is to my mouth. That's maybe less than 6 inches. This is almost 2 feet away. So obviously that's going to be picking up a lot more of the room because I have to gain it up that much. But let's see what else I can do with a little bit of the EQing of the... This is the DJI mic. How good is this? I can hear the... Does it sound any good? The reverb. And check 1 2. What you're hearing right now is the much, but this is as good as it's gonna get. The gain is slightly higher, but this is picking up really nice audio from here. So why don't we right now also compare the DJI microphone? Check 1 2 check 1 2. This is the DJI mic. How good is this? I know it's safe and I don't have to boost it that much. Okay, so I've done a little EQ for that microphone. Also compare the DJI microphone. Check 1 2 check 1 2. This is the DJI mic. So DJI mic is this? Definitely sounds the worst to me. And check 1 2. What you're hearing right now is the Tascam lavalier on here. So the Tascam actually picks how I usually process the audio. Which one sounds better? Is the backup audio really good in here? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And okay, let's listen to it now. The gain is slightly higher, but this is picking up really nice audio from here. So why don't we right now also compare the DJI microphone? Check 1, 2, as like. Okay, so far, I'm actually liking the NTG3 more and more from Rode because it gives this really rich sound. Now, I understand the Tascam is like quite close, so it's a little bit more like cleaner and there's less room. But the point of this is the backup audio for this, because let's say I'm doing something, I'm talking, I can still get really, really good audio, and it's not going to be crap like recording this camera audio like miles away like it's usually been. So this is really, really nice what I'm hearing. I'm getting super, super happy with it, because I was a bit worried that I can't actually get the XLR work and it's not going to fire up perfectly, but I'm super happy with this now. At least I know it's safe. If you don't have a reference that much, and I know that this sounds really good now. Whenever I'm listening to this, the gain is slightly higher. Check 1, 2. This is really good. Now, how can we improve this even more? Now, the best thing here now, how we could make this an absolutely epic setup is if I connected this to Rode's Rode mixer. What's it called again? Interesting. If we've got the Rodecaster video, this would be very, very interesting actually, because it kind of has two together. I could have the audio and video all together in one, in a broadcasting kind of setup. But the thing is, whenever I would then have, let's say, talks with somebody, let's have okay, I'm having a video call with someone, I can have the video to go into it and the Rode here, and I don't necessarily have to have podcast microphone, because this already sounds such a nice podcasting audio, and I'd be able to maybe even mix it inside the Rode Videocaster, have some audio effects in there. Oh, this would be really, 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 really amazing actually. Look at that. I can put gain, all sorts of things, processing. Oh, I can have compressors on there. Oh, that sounds really nice. I like this a lot. The other thing that I really would like to, well, the plan what was here is I would like to change the Tascam recorder here to what I have to Wireless Pros, because this allows me to potentially actually have one less thing to put, or like put into every single time into my system, because I could have the Wireless Pro on one of the cameras and the camera audio would just go directly to the Wireless Pro, and the Wireless Pro would come with a charging case as well that I could automatically get connected. And here you can see that charging case is actually connected to there, so I could actually get it directly connected to the computer. When I have put it to charge, it actually pulls the audio directly into there. So while I'm charging, so the next time I'm actually picking up the thing to go and record, it's already fully charged. Right now, what's happening is these Tascams are running double AAA batteries, which means that I'm often changing, thinking, will I last till the end of the recording with that charge? This, to me, is like another thing here. But step one of this audio is complete. So it's another day and I've got some good news. We have the exciting thing that's arrived, Rode Wireless Pro, and it arrived in a different package. And I've been playing around a little bit, learning about this, and I think this is absolutely unbelievable device. In fact, probably one of the best wireless audio recording devices that you can get for that budget range. It's absolutely incredible. Firstly, I want to do a little sound test between different devices. What I have here is this Tascam DR10L Pro. So this is what I've been usually recording with, just a tiny little recorder that just pops into my pocket with lavalier in there, and then I later on sync it. I accidentally had a few issues with this in the past where the batteries accidentally die, or I thought I pressed record and then I didn't, so I have to re-record, which is really annoying. Here, whereas this Rode Wireless Pro comes in. Firstly, it comes in this really cool charging case. If you don't know about this device already, all of the transmitters and receivers pop into that charging case, and then one cable connected to your computer charges the devices, while you can also offload all the files that are in there. The cool thing is that because it comes with Rode Central app, you can actually configure how this happens, or what actually happens. So whenever you want to start to record something, you just pop out your actual transmitter, and as you can see, boom, it already is on. So I never have to actually turn on the device. Then I just take one of these actual transmitters, boom, it turns on automatically and starts recording automatically. As soon as I pick this up, it's already recording. So as you can see, that little red dot in there, this guy is already recording. Right now it's using this microphone that's built in there, and I can later look at this, you know, audio if I want to, or listen to it, which is super cool. So I never have to worry about, are my things recording, what's actually happening, boom, it's there. And then whenever I want to stop or just finish filming, all I have to do is pop that back into the case here, and then the receiver into the case, and then I can go onto the computer, and then you can see the file. So if I open the Finder in here, as you can see on the side, you can see Wireless Pro 1 and 2, because I've only used, which one did I use now? I can't remember. 1239, that was a little while ago. 1246. So this is the what we just actually recorded here. That saves me from thinking about one extra thing. What are the levels? Did I press record? Did I not press record? Are the batteries charged? No, they're always charged, because whenever I want to get the audio off, it is just there. But the cool thing is, because this is Wireless Pro, it actually brings a whole nother level of a feature to it that the Tascam didn't actually give you. So Tascam just records locally, you can't do anything else. But because this has this actual receiver, I pop this onto my camera, and then it also sends this audio directly to my camera. So in essence, I don't actually have to even plug these in to get the audio off it, but the audio gets already sent and is recorded on the camera onto the video file. So I can directly just pull the audio and kind of use it there. But if you've got some other Rode devices, like I bought this Interview Pro, and we used this in Germany when we went to IFA, and then did some recording on this, and this is absolutely amazing microphone. I really like how this sounds. The cool thing is this now can also connect to this receiver, or the wireless receiver, which means that if I wanted to, I can connect, and this will send now the audio directly to the camera, which wasn't possible before. It would just record locally onto this microphone. But also, if I wanted to, this receiver actually connects to your laptop, to your phone, to your iPhone, which brings a whole other way of how you can use this. But let's say I'm doing a video call somewhere, or I'm doing a podcast. This sounds like a podcast microphone. Now I can have a wireless podcast microphone and record really, really good audio just directly either on my Zoom call or on my whatever business call that I'm doing, or just the podcast that I'm doing something with it. I can just directly connect this to and send the audio to my computer, and then have a backup recording on the actual microphone as well, which is just super, super cool. So I like how all the Rode different devices actually connect together, and we can use them in a very clever and awesome way. Now, it also comes with two lavalier microphones, and I've got already one plugged into there, and I'm going to be using this on a video in a minute that I'll be recording. But there's two of them that come with it. When you buy the Tascam, it comes with one microphone and then one actual recorder. But then you have to have an SD card on top, which will cost extra $20, $30, $50, depending what size you want to go for it. Whereas here, it's all kind of built in. Plus, the Tascam requires batteries that you also have to buy on top, which is an extra expense. In here, everything's plugged in. Plus, we get the dead cats, we get different mic accessories, depending what you want to use this for. So we actually get a lot more for our money. Plus, magnetic clips. So if you want to, you can just clip the whole receiver onto your, wherever you want with it. Then you get all your cables to connect them to your computer or an iPhone. You also get a lightning adapter here, but I think the latest iPhones also have USB-C, so you don't have that. But if you needed previous iPhones, that's all that. So you basically get two boxes. One of them contain all the accessories, microphones, cables, what you need, and then the other one, the actual receivers and chargers. This case also has a battery inside, so even if you don't have it connected to the computer, you plop your devices into there and it starts charging them instantly, which is really cool. And then when you're inside the case, this tiny little LCD actually will show you the indication of how far the batteries are charged or the devices are charged. Right now, they're roughly about 75%. So they're charging there. But the biggest thing that I wanted to now find out is which one sounds the best. And I've got this little test recorded here, and we're going to be testing that out, how this actually works. So firstly, we're going to be looking at the DJI microphone that was connected to there. Here's all the different microphones that I'm comparing. So what you're hearing now is the Rode microphones, the little microphones, the lavaliers, or so it's all right. So when you've got it on its own, it kind of sounds okay. But then when we compare it against the Rode lavalier microphone that I have in there. So listen to this. Check. So here's all the different microphones. Oh, so much cleaner. Is the Rode microphones. So the DJI sounds very shallow. Lavaliers or the actual. Not a lot of low end. Pro here as well. The cool thing is that the Interview Pro can be actually linked with the Wireless Pro receiver. It sounds absolutely amazing. Now, I do want to say that I actually adjusted a little bit of the EQ to my liking. I added a little bit of color to it, and I basically boosted a little bit of the high frequencies. Because if I take the EQ off, I'll just so you can see what I did. So here's all the different microphones. So if I take it off right now, what you're hearing now is it's actually very flat, very nice. But I would like to hear a little bit more of the clarity on the high end. Interview Pro here as well. The cool thing is that the Interview Pro can be actually linked with the Wireless Pro receiver, and this will just send the audio to that, which is really so I like that a little bit more. But then let's add the Tascam and the Rode now side by side, both recording the lavalier microphones. How does this sound? So what you're hearing first. So here's all the different microphones that I'm comparing. So what you're hearing now is the Rode microphones, the little microphones, the lavaliers, or the actual big Interview Pro here as well. The cool thing is that the Interview Pro can be check. So here's all the different microphones that I'm comparing. So what you're hearing now is the Rode microphones, the little microphones, the lavaliers, or the actual and now this is big Tascam. Interview Pro here as well. The cool thing is that the Interview Pro can be actually linked with the Wireless Pro receiver, and this will just send the audio to that, which is really, really interesting and really good. So you can basically get directly this into your camera or onto your laptop or something like that. That's a really cool thing that can work together with both of these microphones. Is Rode, which one sounds the best? Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Here's me talking about different things that are this. So let's check out this audio. Is it better? Is it worse? Let's check out. So I feel like the Rode has a little bit of a better low end and a little bit of more depth on the kind of chesty voice. So when I'm talking, I have a little bit more, like a little bit of podcast microphone. But then the Tascam has a little bit more clarity, but then I adjusted the clarity on the Rode as well. So basically, they're very, very similar, both of them. And I like that I can get this very interesting sound. Interestingly, the Rode microphone looks a little bit more professional. If you look at them side by side, it's a little bit more flat in here compared to the Tascam. And the actual cable is a lot more kind of slimmer and easier to deal with. The Tascam is a little bit more rigid microphone cable, and I have already broken one of the mics, and I've bought another new one for the Tascam, so it's interesting. Now, both of them record 32-bit float, so if you don't know what that is, which means that basically if you ever clip the audio, it's going to be super, super easy to recover it. It's kind of like a RAW, and all the data and files are there. But there's one more thing that to compare is now. I want to compare the Rode to the Wireless Pro. And comparing, now, so what you can hear now is the lav Rode microphones, the little microphones, the lavaliers, or the actual but now the Wireless big Pro. Interview Pro here as well. The cool thing is that the Interview Pro can be actually linked with the Wireless Pro receiver. Sounds such a and good, this like will just send microphone. The audio to that, which is really, really interesting and really. So basically the room and noise and echo in the room is a lot more reduced. So it picks up audio much more closer to the microphone. It's kind of like a dynamic microphone, which I like a lot more compared to the lavalier, which picks up a little bit more of the room, a little bit more of the echo. Obviously, the diaphragm of the actual microphone is smaller, which means that it just has to do a little bit more work, whereas this one has very large diaphragm, so the dynamics of it will be a lot better. And I just really like how this sounds. So the idea is, like I mentioned before, get that one onto an actual wireless audio setup where I can use that microphone wirelessly for my Zoom calls, which is really, really cool. Obviously, I need a little mic stand here where I can, or mic arm where I can use this, but that will be really cool. So push it out of the way, I can charge it, put it back in there. That will be awesome. Honestly, I'm just so happy how the Rode sounds. For the price point, I know that the Rode next to it is a little bit more expensive, $100 more expensive than the Tascam is $100 cheaper, but I feel like you're getting a lot more for the Rode, and the usability features, some of the things in there just overweigh what you're getting, and you're getting actually more of the device as well. And when you consider in the SD card and the batteries that you have to buy for the Tascam, then the price difference is maybe $50, maybe even less, which makes the Rode just look really, really good. And you got two microphones rather than one, which makes it even more affordable. Now, there are two kind of critiques that I have for Rode for this device. So when the Wireless Pro 2 ever comes out, I wish there was two of these differences. So number one is if you actually take the Rode lavalier microphone end, and the cool thing is that you can screw it in, because I have bought the Rode Wireless Go that I've had for years, and for that one there's no screw in of the actual cable. So this is the Tascam microphone, and it just pops in, but you can't actually screw it in. Now the Pro version does have the thread in here, but the thing is, when you plug it into it, you're gonna have to screw it from the whole microphone. So you're actually going to twist the whole cable. As you can see, look at this cable now, it's all twisted. So I have to untwist this, which is not very nice thing to do, because it just puts unreasonable strain on the cable. We're twisting the cable one way or the other way, which I don't like particularly. I wish that there was this gold ring would just be loose, and it would be kind of tapered so it doesn't come off, which I thought at first that it can do. But if I want to just move this cable, the ring just comes off, which I don't really think this is the best solution. I wish it twists around so I can only twist the ring rather than the whole wire, which is not ideal. The other thing is, let's say you do want to have it in a studio setup, which is a little bit more kind of just my issue. But let's say I do have this plugged in, or you have to kind of screw it in like that. And let's say I do want to put it in this cage. The thing is, when you've got anything attached, any microphones, let's say you do want to leave the lavs attached just to charge it, you have to take the lavalier off to put it in the box, because as you can see this way, it does not go onto the box. The lav mic is on the way. If the lav hole was on the other side, you could still pop it in, you'd have the space, the lav will like stick out in there. But let's say you don't want to carry it, but you just want to have it in a studio setup, boom, you can still charge it, but the lav can be attached, and you don't have to take the lav off and on, off and off. In this case, we just have to take the lav off and pop it into there. But regardless of these little issues, this little Rode addition to it is going to improve so much of my audio setup. Not just I have now a really good backup audio with the NTG3B, but the Rode Wireless Pro will also enable me to be a little bit faster with all of my setup, so I'm super happy with it. Now, is it better than Tascam? In terms of pure audio, very, very similar. In terms of usability and price to performance, I think Rode wins, because you'll just get more for your money. In some ways, I wish there was Wireless Pro with just one transmitter, so you don't have to have two microphones on it, but this one, you do have two mics in there. If you want to check these out, check them out in the video description below. That's it. Let's start recording now and enjoying this gear.